I am looking very chopped right now and unk. So just imagine that I don't. Anyway, I haven't filmed a makeup tutorial in quite a long time. So why am I talking like it's the 18th century? Quite a long time. Quite a long periods of time. Okay, anyway, I haven't filmed in a long time, one of these, so I figured I'd give you my updated makeup routine for natural makeup. And, why do I look like this? Ask God. Ask God, because I look scary without makeup. Alright, so, today we're beginning with a prepped and moisturized face with Clinique Redness Solutions Moisturizer. So, Alright, I have tears in my eyes. Alright. So we're gonna begin with this. Let me just screw this back on here. This is what I use when I don't want to use real foundation. And real foundation is great when you want to do full glam, but if you want to do natural makeup, then I suggest you buy this. This This is NARS. It's actually a color corrector, but for some reason, it matches my skin tone perfectly. So it's meant to color correct your dark circles, but I use it all over my face because it's pale and it matches my skin tone. I've already applied some over here, and you can see. So this is what I use when I don't want to apply a mask of foundation. So I'm just gonna see how it's the exact same skin tone as my face, except it just eliminates the redness. Alright, so I'm just gonna apply this on my face, and yes, you can literally swipe it on because it's creamy, and it's not like a foundation where you have to like blend it in and pounce it in the face, like no, you can just swipe it on. And then if you want to build up the coverage, that's when you like blend it like this. But otherwise, you can just swipe it on and be really quick with it. But for me, I don't like to use it really heavily because it's basically supposed to go only underneath your eyes. So what I do is I usually I only use the thick amounts on areas that I know I'm going to powder, and then everywhere else I kind of just layer a really thin amount. Or on areas that I know are really red, I'll layer it up, but otherwise I just kind of put like one little stroke on other areas, and then in like really red areas I blend it and I conceal it with more product. But otherwise, yeah, it's kind of just a process. Like, you have to blend it into your face. And normally I don't use a lot on my forehead because my forehead is like, it's like one of my favorite parts of my face because it never breaks out. So when I apply this, I look crazy. When I apply this, I barely put any on my forehead because my forehead is like never broken out. So yeah, I don't know what I'm trying to say. My forehead doesn't require much product because it never breaks out. That's what I'm saying. Alright, so, really the only problem spots on my face are my chin and sometimes the sides of my face where I sleep when my hair gets on it. Because I use a lot of oily hair products, or hair products that are supposed to be used to blow dry things, which has silkiness in it to cause the hair to like not be damaged. And I guess when that gets on my face, I break out on my sides of my face because I have a bonnet but that I'm supposed to wear to sleep so that my hair won't touch my face, but I never wear it. So that was a waste of money. So I basically never wear it because I never wash it, and yeah. it just kind of sits in my drawer, and I'm just like, well, but then I never wash it because I like forget to put it in the laundry basket. So, yeah, that's kind of my truth, and I'm sticking with it. So, obviously, I have a lot of redness in my face. That covers it up. As you can see, it looks like I'm wearing foundation, but it's really just this pot concealer that's supposed to be color corrector for under your eyes. Now, I don't know why it doesn't, like, look like color corrector. It looks like foundation, but I got matched by someone in Ulta, and I'm so grateful they showed me this color, because it basically doubles as a foundation when you don't want to wear a lot. So, why did I get that? Sorry, guys. Alright, and then this is the shade. If you guys want to know the shade of this that I'm using, if you're pale like me, it's light 1.25 Affogato. AFFOGATO, Affogato. Soft Matte Complete Concealer, Anti-Redness Color Corrector. Yeah, by NARS, and it's by the brand NARS. Alright, so, what is wrong with my voice? What is going on? Alright, so next I use my really cheap powder. That's actually really great. It's actually not that cheap, but considering, like, putting it next to Rare Fenty Beauty, this is the cheaper one. And it performs well. It really does. It's the Maybelline 05 Fair Clair Loose Finishing Powder. And it comes loose in the little package, so you can see mine is like you can see it's being used. It's well loved. And basically I take the lid off. And then I just take the excess that's in there because it doesn't have a seal and put it into the lid. And then I take my powder puff and I just kind of dip into it. And I like how people say, oh, just tap off the excess on your hand. Girl, I can't do that. When people say they powder and they tap it all off on the back of their hand, I can't do that. I've never been able to do that. If I do that, I get oily within 20 minutes and I look like a greasy monster. So if you're an oily girl, do not do that, because oil will come through your makeup and you will be wishing that you had put the regular amount of powder on. So go ahead and people say blend out your creases. Blend out your under eye creases and your eye creases. I never do that. Like, it's such a waste of time. Your makeup's just gonna crease, and nothing that you can do is gonna change that. So just blend it. Like, just powder it. Girl, you don't need to be going over your eyes 25 times with your beauty sponge because you don't want creases. Like, that's what makeup does. It creases. Your face has curves, and it's gonna crease. So, you see that? That's a crease. And I really don't care because no one's seeing it. Is someone going to come up and be like, oh, look, it's creasing? No, because no one touches your under eye. Like, and I just messed that up. No one's going to go up and touch your under eye or stare at you in the mirror and be like, look at your under eye creases. So, just like these beauty gurus that are like, you need to blend, you need to blend, you need to blend. No. Just powder, girl. It's gonna be fine. So I just blend and press this powder on and see how it just blends into my skin, because I'm using the lightest shade in this powder that matches my skin tone. I am always the lightest or second to lightest shade in any foundation or base makeup because I am so pale. And the thing that's hard for me is when I'm looking for a foundation, and that's why I stick to my foundation by NARS. That's like $50, because I have a very hard time finding makeup that matches my actual skin tone. Why, you may ask? Because the foundation brands automatically think that anyone with pale skin has yellow or orange undertones. And if you don't have yellow or orange undertones and you're a neutral or a pink cool undertone like me, it can be very, very challenging and hard to find a foundation or concealer that matches your actual skin that can be blended out and not like, what do they call? oxidize and turn into a completely different shade. So yes, I do have a really expensive foundation by NARS that has skincare elements in it, but it's the only shade in their entire line that actually works for my skin tone. And it's called Oslo, and it is not just the regular foundation. They have two different ones. They have a matte one, they have a shiny one, and then they have the skin caring foundation. And this is the one with the skincare in it. And it's called Light Reflecting Foundation, and then you have to shake it really well before use, and it's the one that has skincare in it. There's about 3 different ones. And if you have the budget, I would suggest this one, because whenever I wear this, my skin looks better the next day because it has serums and stuff in it. But if you don't have the budget, girl, go get L'Oreal, go get Maybelline. Like, they have the best foundations out there for the drugstore. Like, when I was broke, I used to wear Maybelline 24 Hour Super Stay Foundation, and that stuff is, like, so good. It has coverage. It never falls off your face. Like, it doesn't come off until you want it to come off. So, because it's very matte, and it has a lot of full coverage. And that's good for anybody that's looking for coverage, but also wants longevity in their makeup. So, if you have like $10 or $15 and you want a foundation, go get Maybelline or L'Oreal. Like, they have the best. From L'Oreal, I would suggest True Match, which is like the best shade line. They have the best shade range in the True Match foundation. Now, it doesn't have a pump, but that's the one downside about it, is that it doesn't have a pump to pump out onto your beauty blender. But usually with those foundations, what I do is I take a little bit, I open up the foundation, and I take a little bit on the back of my hand, and I just kind of like pour it out on the back of my hand a little by little and apply it. So that is my advice to anyone that's watching this that really wants a good foundation that doesn't have $50. And I am gonna probably start using those foundations again, because I don't think it's really ethical to spend $45 to $50 on a foundation. But I only buy it when I completely run out, which is usually a couple of months, because it lasts so long. So that's a good side of getting a big foundation that's expensive, because it usually has a lot of product in it. But, there's pros and cons. Weigh your options, and whatever you think is good, you can do it. So next on the list, we did powder, and we didn't see it. I am a type of person that when I do my makeup, I don't like to do concealer. That is why I have used this color corrector, because it functions as a concealer type / foundation. Because you can put it all over your face, but in reality, it is a concealer. So, this is like a one and done step, because you can see I still have dark under eyes, but that's because it's genetics, and I always have dark under eyes. But this is a great product for those of you that don't have dark under eyes. When you put this on, you're going to look flawless. You're going to have that base, and they have so many different shades of it. Sorry, I thought I saw a bug in my room. They have so many different shades. NARS is really good about shade ranges. And, yeah, I just like one and done. I don't like to put on foundation, then put on concealer, then put on powder. So I'm kind of like a one and done person. So, especially on days when I'm just doing natural makeup, like I don't need to sit there for 4 to 10 minutes just doing base. Like, that's just a waste of time. So, next on the list is I'm going to do bronzer, and I have 3 specific brushes I use for bronzer, blush, and highlight, and I don't change them because they work so great. So, what am I saying? This is my favorite bronzer ever from the drugstore. It's by Physicians Formula, and it's called Butter Bronzer. And it smells amazing. It smells like a tropical beach vacation, and you don't need a lot of it. This is why you just saw, look, all of that comes off. It's very pigmented, so you only need like 1 to 2 dips in, blow it off, tap the excess off, and then you just apply it to your hollows of your cheekbones and blend upwards. When you blend upwards, doing your bronzer, you don't want to ever blend down because that will drag your face down and it will look like you're not lifted. So when you have bronzer, always go upwards on your cheek, never downwards. Start here from the top of your ear to about the middle of your face. Blend it up, 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 up. Never circular motions and upwards, never down. So that your face looks more lifted and youthful. And bronzer's job is really just to bring back the shading and dimension and color to your face. Since we basically have a blank canvas and we just blotted out all the natural shadows of our face with foundation or with our concealer in our case, we want to bring back life and dimension to the face. And bronzers are typically very warm toned, which is why it looks kind of orange, but that's because that's how they're made in every single brand. There's a difference between bronzer and contour. Contour is cool toned, which looks like actual shadows on your face, which is like, cool tone is like my eyebrow color, like this kind of cool brown color. And then you see the orange, which is why it's warm tone, because it's usually used to warm up the face and make it not look so dead, because you blotted everything out with whatever base products you used. So that's what I do. I used to have a great contour, and I don't know where it went, because ever since I moved into this new house, I kind of lost all the things I was using, and all of my makeup is kind of out of order, so I'm just kind of working with what I got here. And I don't necessarily love this shade on me, but it's really the only thing I have available, so. I think it's because I just looked at it and it says it's the deep bronzer, so if I had a lighter shade in this, it would probably look way better on me. But, this is the same exact bronzer that I use when I'm tan, so that's probably why it looks kind of weird on me. But I just realized that, and I was like, I don't know why this looks so, it's too warm on me. But, I need to find my contour because it looks better on me than bronzer. But that's just because I'm a fair person. I'm fair-skinned. And anything that's warm will typically look like orange on your face. But you just have to get used to it. It's kind of a thing where, like, if you're not used to wearing bronzer, it looks really weird at first. But you get used to it if you start doing your makeup with it. So next I'm going to be using my, also, I didn't tell you guys about my brush. This is the Real Techniques 221 brush. It is supposed to be for a kabuki, it's supposed to be a kabuki foundation brush that you blend in wet foundation with, but I use it for bronzer because it's such a good blender brush. And so it actually had a max, a mid, and a mini, and it's stuck on the mini for some reason because the actual handle that controlled the amount of the brush that could be out right here, it had a little lever, is actually broken, so it's stuck on the mini. But it's a great brush. I love using it for everything. I use it for everything, especially bronzer. So my next brush, I don't even know where I got this from. I think this is a Sonia Kashuk brush. I got it in a holiday collection for Christmas one year. And it's basically, but you can get this at any makeup store. It's basically a fluffy angled blush brush. And you can see that it's angled because it's going downwards. And so it's really helpful to get in the nooks and crannies of your face right here for blush, because you would just want to go on either the apples or a little bit further back and go like this. So I'm going to be using my Benefit Pom Pom blush, and it's really pretty. It's a great pinky nude. I would say it's way more nude than any of their other nude. I mean, it's a nude shade. It's more nude than any of their other blushes that they carry. Their other blushes are very powerful, pigmented, and colorful. And also, this is pigmented, but it's just way more like a neutral pink than like a hot pink or a magenta pink or an orange pink, you know. So I really like it for blush. Alright, so we're going to blow that off, and then you guys are going to see how pigmented this is. I don't like to overdo it. So I just kind of tap it in and then blend. You see how pigmented that is with just like a little bit on the brush. So this blush is basically going to last me my whole life. I mean, I'm not ever going to hit pan in this because it's so pigmented. You don't need to dip in that much. So yeah, and then this is the other side. We're trying to match the pigment and strength of the other side so that it looks even. And I forgot to do my nose, so I'm just going to take the excess. That's what was missing. I'm just going to take the excess of the bronzer on this bronzer brush. And I'm just going to take the excess and run it over my nose so that my nose doesn't look weird and just pale. And then I'm going to take the excess of my blush and just go over the bridge of my nose as if I got like a suntan. Alright, so next step is eyebrows. And I know people do their eyebrows many different ways in their routines. Some people do their eyebrows at the very start of their makeup. Some people do it at the very end. I do it basically in the middle. I find that that's the easiest way to do it. So after I do my base, that's when I do my eyebrows. So after everything is done, I do my eyebrows. And I don't do highlight until the very end of my makeup, which is very strange because I used to do it right after my eyebrows, but I don't. I use it at the very end of my routine, and usually I don't use it that much because I don't think that it looks flattering on me as much as I thought it did back in 2016 when I was wearing giant pounds of highlighter on my face. But it kind of exaggerates my pores, and so I don't really like to use it on my cheeks or my brow bone that much. If I use highlighter, it's very sparingly, and most of it goes on my nose and my bridge of my nose. So, I've kind of learned that, you know, highlighting isn't really for everyone, especially if you have large pores on your face. It's just going to exaggerate them and make you not look as attractive as if you had not worn any. So, I am going to just brush up. Why is my face... Guys, my face keeps peeling, and I think it's because it's so dry. But I keep using my moisturizer, and I guess it's okay, but whenever I put on foundation, it always peels sometimes, and it's really frustrating. Alright, so I am brushing up my eyebrows, brushing them all the way up, and then brushing the excess to the side of my hairs. I like my front of my eyebrows to stand up, and the side of them to stay normal like they would normally, and then that's just how I get most of the product out of them, is brushing them up to get the powder and everything that's gone in them out, and then brushing from the middle to the side all the way down. So you want your eyebrows to, before you apply any kind of product, to be laying in their natural state of the way they normally sit on your face. If they're like all blown up and messed up, it's going to look really weird when you try to fill them in. So what I do is I typically just brush them the normal way they look when I haven't put any makeup on, and then with the spoolie, and then I just take the very smallest amount of product and I just kind of fill in my natural eyebrow shape and the hairs and where they would be if I had been blessed with more hair on the end of my eyebrow. So you see how that just kind of frames the face a little bit more, and I just kind of go in the exact same arch and shape that my natural eyebrows go in because I don't want it to be too dramatic or look weird. And then I take the excess off by brushing out my spoolie and kind of blending out and fading out the product so that it looks more natural than just kind of put on there. So I'm going to show you guys up close how I do the other eyebrow. Just kind of see how I don't have as much hair down here. So I just kind of follow the natural hair growth, and I just kind of flick it out and then blend it in with my spoolie after I draw this on. And then see how it looks very sharp, and this one looks more blended. So when you want to go back in with the spoolie and kind of soften things up. Alright, so that's how I do my eyebrows. I used to do my eyebrows really crazy, and everybody that knows me back in Florida knows that I used to do my eyebrows like really harsh and they looked horrible. But I now only do the ends because if I do the fronts, it makes me look crazy and it makes me look like I'm angry all the time. So I've learned to not do that. This is the only way I do my eyebrows for the rest of my life. I will never do the front again. Okay, so that is basically all of the steps for the base done. Now we're gonna do mascara. And then we'll do lips and we'll be done. So today, guys, I don't think I'm gonna do any highlighter besides just taking some of this NYX and putting a little bit on my nose, and that's it. And I typically either do it at the end or do it right after I finish my eyebrows. So I'm taking this NYX Buttermelt highlighter in the shade, wait, guys, I ripped the shade off. It is this really golden, kind of white gold color. Guys, the leaves are literally changing outside. I'm so happy. I keep seeing all the autumn leaves fall in my backyard. So it's kind of just like this white gold color. It's kind of yellow, but I like my highlighters to be a little bit darker than my skin. Because it makes the features not pop out as much. So when you highlight it a little bit darker than your skin tone, it makes your features not look so obnoxious, if that makes any sense. So that's what I do. I use this kind of darker shade. It kind of looks like it's for tan people, and it is, but I use that on my nose, and it typically, I only go really light-handed and it looks fine. Because if you use a really light hand, it looks perfect. But if you go too deep and heavy-handed with your highlighter, it can look crazy. Especially if you're fair like me. Typically people that are fair use white or gold or white highlighters like this that are like really sparkly and glittery, and I just don't like that look on an everyday basis. If I'm going to wear glam makeup, of course I like that look. If I'm doing eyeshadow and false eyelashes and a bold lip, yes, I will do that, but not on an everyday basis. So I'm going to do my eyelashes now, and I'm not going to use any fake eyelashes. I'm going to actually show you guys my new mascara routine that I have been doing as of like a couple weeks now, and it's actually because of this great mascara by Maybelline that's waterproof. It's called Hydrofuge. I didn't realize it was waterproof. I have been thinking that it was because of the way it doesn't come off at night. In the shower, I have to use actual oil, like oil balm to get it off, but it's really great and it holds a curl all day. So I use the Maybelline Lash Sensational waterproof, and it's actually not, I don't know if this is black. Yeah, it is. I have a black and I have a dark brown, and I've been using the black. I really like black mascara. I know people like doing dark brown or light brown for fall, and I think I might get into that, but I don't. I want to use the mascaras that I have right now, which is typically all black, because I have so many mascaras, guys, you don't even understand. Like, I have to go through them, or they're just going to go all bad. So I'm trying to use everything I have, and then once I'm out of everything I already have, then I will buy a brown one. But, as of right now, we're just going to use black. So, I'm going to curl my eyelashes. Oh, hold on. There's a rogue eyebrow hair that's not where it's supposed to be. You guys see this right here? That needs to be plucked. There we go. Alright, so we're going to be using my Tarte eyelash curler that came with my purchase of their eyelash curler, of their mascara, I think, yeah. I purchased the eyelash curler and a mascara came with it, so yeah, I just use this now. I used to use Babe Lash, and I stopped using it because I like this one way better. The curl on this is way better. Okay, so now I'm going to curl my eyelashes. Why is the lighting so weird? So I just go ahead and curl my eyelashes. It looks like a torture device, guys. It literally does, but it does the best job at, you know, if you want your eyelashes to stand up and not stick straight out, then you have to use a curler. And I'm going to show you guys exactly what I do to get my eyelashes to look the way they look. So I actually curl them quite a few times with this curler, and I want them to stick all the way up, straight up, curled. I just curl them just like that. multiple times until they're really perky and curled up, and then I apply my mascara. So typically I stop when they look like that. Takes my eyelashes a few times to get to the normal curl that other people get the first time, because they're very fine hair on my eyes. So they don't curl easily, and they don't hold a curl easily unless I use waterproof mascara. So I'm going to go ahead and take this mirror because I like to do it up close. But basically, I wiggle my wand, and I blink also. So it's kind of the order that I do things to coat my eyelashes. I wiggle it, and then I blink to get the excess off so that it doesn't look so clumpy. And I also will show you guys what I've been using to get the clumps out after it's dry. So I've been doing that, and it's really hard. It's really hard to get my eyelashes to cooperate most days because they are so thin that they're hard to put mascara on. And when I do put mascara on them, they end up looking like very clumpy because they're so thin that any ounce or amount of mascara on them can make them look like I put 60 layers of makeup on them of mascara, and it's just so hard to make them look nice. So this typically is the longest part of my routine, guys, is making my eyelashes look decent and not clumpy. So this takes a long time for me, and I don't like taking a long time, but some things you have to do to make it look nice. So typically that's what I do, and you can already see that they already look way better. They're not sticking straight up yet, but once they're dry, I'm going to curl them about 1 to 2 times again. And I know people say, don't do that, you're going to rip your eyelashes out. I've never had a problem with it. So, yeah, do what you want, I guess, but that's what I do to make them really stick up and when they're dry. Okay. So I'm gonna, and this eye always gives me problems because the middle of my eye, my eyelashes in the middle of my eye always like to mess with me. They're not very strong, and they don't really like getting product on them. You see what I'm saying? They curl. This one's supposed to stick right here, and it just doesn't stay where it's supposed to stay like the other eye. So I'm just gonna try to force it with mascara to stay in the area that I want it to stay in without damaging it. So that's what my eyelashes do on a typical day-to-day basis, especially my right eye. And I have a feeling it's because I sleep so many times on my right side of my body, so my eyelashes on the right side of my eye are just always messed up because that's how I sleep on them. I sleep on them and they crinkle up and they get messed up. So that is probably why they don't cooperate. But yeah, that's kind of how I do my mascara. And you can see it's starting to get clumpy. So I need to just dial it back. Okay, so you can see my 2 eyes have been coated. And then typically what I do is I go in with some Q-tips. Now don't get them wet, only use them dry. So you see how I got mascara on my eyelid and on my by my eyebrow. I use a clean Q-tip that's completely dry, and I just go over those areas and it picks it right up. And it takes it off of those areas where you messed up. And I always do this. It's like one of the best tips I've taught myself to do because it's just so easy to do. And it gets it off like almost immediately. You never want to wet it. It'll just cause it to smear. So that's what I do with my eyelashes. And then I wait for... Basically, guys, I wait for my top eyelashes to dry fully before I do my bottom eyelashes, because what I like to do is I like to do my lips while my top eyelashes are drying. because I usually like to go in, like I said, with my curler. And if you have bottom mascara on, these kind of like intercept each other and they can pull off the eyelash mascara. So what I do is I like to just do my lips while they dry. Okay, so right now I'm going in with the shade Natural by NYX, and I'm going to sharpen it really quick because it's really dull. Yes, this is my crusty sharpener. Do not judge me. Okay, so I'm going to I'm using the NYX lip pencil in the shade Natural. My favorite shade, everyone always asks me, what shade do you use on your lips every single day? And this is it. This is what I use. Now when I do my lips, I literally only overline the top lip a little bit. I like to follow the natural lip line that I have, which is kind of like pointed up at the top. I don't really like it, so I round it out. And then just follow it down to the side of my mouth where it normally stays, like that. So you can see, this is my normal lip line, the pointed, and then above it is where I've traced it out to make it look slightly bigger than it is. And then I just kind of follow my natural lip line. And then fill it in. That's what I do. So we're going to fill this in. And then typically I usually put on a lip gloss. I don't think I'm going to today. I just want a natural matte lip. I like this shade a lot. And I use it basically every single day that I do my lips. So I'm going to go back in. There we go. Alright. So guys, that's how I do my lips. And if I want to do a little extra, I think I'm going to do it. I just take this satin lipstick by Anastasia and tap it in the middle to give it some more dimension, because it's more of a nude. So I'm going to check my eyelashes, and they are dry. So now we're going to curl them again, about 1 to 2 or 3 times, to get them really perky and curled up. To God, yes, to God, the one and only true God, God Almighty, from the Bible. Nothing else, not the universe, yep, not the crystals, but God. We're going to curl our eyelashes up to God, and, I'm sorry if that just offended you, but that's my beliefs, so please deal with it. Alright, so you see how that instantly made, look at the difference, this eye or this eye. This eye looks better because it's curled, and it's, it looks like more raised. So that's how I like my eyelashes to look, is like this eye. So I do it typically 1 to 2 times. But I think it looks good just with 1 today. So I think I'm just going to leave it at that. Let me do the other eye. And then I take this spoolie that I have, that's actually a rubber spoolie that I bought from the store of Ulta. And it's supposed to be brow wax applicator, but I use it to separate and fix my eyelashes after I curl them when they're dry. So that's kind of what I do. And then now I'm going to do my lower eyelashes to seal in this look and finish the look. So you can see this is what my eyelashes look like after I curl them and make them look better than before. And then now I'm going to take a few layers, like maybe 2 layers of mascara on my lower eyelashes to make them look as thick and nice as my eyelashes on the top row, on the upper part of my eye. So I do like this 2 times, only 2 times only. The first coat is kind of just to make them look like they're there, look like they're actually on my eye, because they're really thin again, so we have to coat it twice. So this is the first coat. We just go in and make them look like they're there, like they're known on the eye, like they're actually showing up. And then we let that dry on both sides, and then we go in with another coat and make them look thicker, just like the ones on the top of my eye. And that is basically how I do my mascara. And don't worry about getting it on your under eye. I always get it on my under eye because my eyelashes are so long. On the bottom part of my eye. I don't know why I was blessed with those, but I was, and you can literally see just one coat of mascara, how low they go underneath my eye. I'm so happy that God gave me these eyelashes, because without them, I don't know what I would do. I still use fakes because I'm stupid, but, yeah, there's just some looks that you have to use fakes for, because your eyeliner is too thick and you can't really see your real eyelashes or stuff like that. So I use fakes every once in a while, or when I want to do full glam and have like that extra step. But typically on every single day, an everyday look, I just do this mascara because it's so great. It makes them look amazing, and I just love it. It's waterproof. It holds the curl. We're gonna let this dry, and then we're gonna clean it up. So I kind of look crazy right now because all the mascara is under my eye, but I let it dry, mostly, and then we cleaned it up. So I'm going to let those mistakes dry. We will take this Q-tip and clean it up and do one more coat. Alright guys, so I typically just allow a minute to 30 seconds before I clean this up. And then you just take the clean Q-tip like I showed y'all, and then you completely wipe it away. And sometimes if you have a lot, you have to take both ends and kind of just clean it up on both sides. And then you gotta get a new Q-tip for the other side. Yeah, I use Q-tips like crazy in my makeup routine, because this is what I use them for mistakes like this. And it takes them right off. Okay, and then guys, we're gonna go ahead and take the mascara one more time to do the lashes a little bit thicker on the lower. And this step is typically just to thicken them and make them look as thick as the top ones. So that's basically the final look, guys. What I like to do as the last step, if I have the time, which I do today, where is it? I like to take a white gel eyeliner and put it in my waterline to make my eyes look bigger. Only on the lower waterline, not the upper one. So I take the NYX Professional Jumbo Eye Pencil in the shade Milk 604. And I'm sure they've changed that name by now, because they came out with different ones, and the gold ones and shimmery ones of this exact same line. And I need to get a new one because it's running out. But, yeah, I kind of just pull my eye down, apply it, and make my eye look bigger. So that's kind of what I do. And yeah guys, so that is basically the finished makeup. And let me let my hair down. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys learned something or found a tip that you can try in your own makeup routine. I hope you guys liked my in-depth lash and mascara routine. And I hope you guys liked this makeup tutorial. If you did, please like and share and subscribe and comment below other videos that you want me to do, or movies or TV shows or edits that you want me to react to next. And I also have a poll, multiple polls posted on my account. If you scroll into my channel and you click post on the very right hand side of my channel, there is a community where you can talk and text in there, and there is also a poll, 2 polls that you can vote on for what you want me to react to next. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day or night wherever you are, or afternoon. And I love you guys so much. Bye.